Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're reviewing Dungeon Crawler Carl. And I'm going to say right off the bat, this is the funniest book I've read since A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I could not stop laughing. This is probably the most creative book I've read in my entire life. The fact they threw in different genres in here, it amazes me. Like, literally, it's a role-playing game mixed in with like an alien invasion, mixed in with like daytime television, mixed in with like Survivor. It's like a whole bunch of things thrown into one. It's Matt Dinniman. Dude, I would love to meet this guy. This guy, I don't know how he came up with this. This is so crazy. And honestly, I've never heard of this guy. I go to bookstores all the time, never heard of him. And then one day I go into a bookstore and I just see all his books. All his books just everywhere. I'm like, who that? The hell is this? And you got a whole bunch of books. He's like 6, 7 books out here. I just thought, okay, whatever. Maybe some author who published a shitload of books at one time. And then we went to Barnes & Noble, and Matt Dinniman everywhere. And I was like, okay. And then I went to my local thrifty bookstore where you buy books for like dirt cheap. Matt Dinniman everywhere. I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on with this Matt Dinniman guy? I gotta check this out. So I snapped a picture of one of the books. It wasn't this one. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th one in the series. I was like, I'm gonna look into this and see what these books are about, if people like them. And I looked up Goodreads, and everybody was talking amazing about these books. So I said, okay, I'm gonna pick up the first book in this series. I'm gonna read it. And they were not wrong. And you know what? Long live Princess Donut. And I'm not even a cat person, and I love Princess Donut. She is the one that steals every scene in this book. I just love Princess Donut. Oh my lord. On top of that, so basically what happens in this book, Earth is being destroyed for the 6th time, apparently. And as soon as they explained that, I was like, is that an homage to The Matrix? Because as soon as they explained that, and Carl was confused by it, all I kept thinking about was Neo being told by the architect that, hey, this is the 6th time we've done this to the human race, like annihilated it. And Neo is like looking around like, wait, what? And then you see on the TV all the other Neos from before, like screaming and having different responses. And that was my first thought. But then it turns out like it's also a intergalactic, I don't even know what the word is, like all these different galaxies watch this TV show, and different companies get to do it every year. And this one company is doing it this year. They're broke, they have to pay back people, so they're rushing everything a little bit more. So they flatten Earth, and if you're inside the house, you're screwed. Carl is out of his house because his cat snuck out the window. He jumps out to go get the cat when everything happens. He's out there in his boxers. He has a t-shirt, no shoes or socks on. And then they tell him, have a certain amount of time to get down to the first level. And he gets there, and, that's when the games begin. And it's crazy because, like, I love the concept of it. I grew up playing role-playing games. I grew up playing Final Fantasy, Phantasy Star, Shining Force. And even if not role-playing games, but also like games like Resident Evil, where you have cash that you can pick up. You open treasure boxes and you get to keep things, and sometimes you get to mix things together and it creates another thing. That's what this book reminded me of, part of it. Like, he would kill bosses and enemies, and he would get supplies that would help him along the way. But there's a catch, right? Because people are watching this and they want the ratings, and you have a certain amount of time to get down to the next level. Right, so he's on level 1. You have a certain amount of time to get down to level 2. Originally it was 10 days, but they cut it shorter because, again, this company needs the money. They need this to end quickly. So I think they went from 10 to like 8. I think I'm not 100%. The thing is, you don't want to get to the second floor the stairs to go down to the second floor too quick, because you get frozen, essentially, right? And you want people to like you, because the more they like you, they send you more gifts and stuff like that. And these gifts can be used to help fight off bosses. So you don't want to get, let's say you have 4 days left, you don't want to get to the stairs and then go down the stairs, so you're frozen for like 4 days. So no one's watching you. So you have to time it perfectly. You have to be fighting these enemies and defeating bosses and getting treasures and learning as much as you can, and then getting down there with as little time left as possible, so that way you don't lose out on things. And then after each level, if you do well enough, you get taken off and go to a show, which reminds me of those, like, I think his name is Andy Cohen, like the guy who does those shows on, I think it's A&E for, like, Real Housewives and all those stupid shows like that, and he brings them on after the show and they talk and whatever. Well, there's one talk show host is like the most famous in the galaxy and stuff like that, and you go on there and you talk and whatever. So you want to be on there. And Princess Donut, who's like a show cat, she wants to be on this because she wants to be seen throughout the galaxy, right? So she is just hysterical in this book. I'm just telling you right now, hysterical. And not just her. Whoever is like sending out like the messages for when they open the treasure boxes, freaking sarcastic humor. My type of humor. Gen Xer here loves sarcastic humor. I grew up with people like George Carlin telling me comedy jokes, Sinbad, and I'm trying to think of the guy's name who used to scream all the time. I can't think of his name right now. But those are the people I grew up watching, all having like sarcastic type of sense of humor. So this book was my type of humor. Sometimes he would open the treasure chest and he'll be like, you know, the treasure was really you, the adventure all along, blah, 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 so you don't get a prize, you know? And then someone apparently has a foot fetish, keeps giving him like foot prizes. So that turned out to be kind of funny. But there's also different talk show hosts that they're less known and they try to poke and prod you, and he ends up on one of those shows at one point, and you know, so he has to play it safe because otherwise, you know, it can mess up his ratings. This book is amazing. I could not put this book down. This book was so much fun. So for me, this is a 5-star God tier book. God tier. This is a must read if you are into just humor, if you're into role-playing games, if you're just into sarcasm, if you want a book that moves. This book moves. This book gets on. From page 1 to the very end, it's going. There's no stopping it. It is a freight train that's lost control, and it is fun. It is a fun book to read. So 5-star God tier must read. I love this book. I so much love this book. I haven't loved a book this much in so long in this type of category, because there's been other books I've given God tiers to, but this, to make me laugh so hard at a book, is damn nearly impossible. Like I said, not since A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy have I laughed this hard. So 5 stars. In the comments below, have you read this book? Do you tell me what the funniest thing is for you? And also, have you continued reading the series? Are you still enjoying it? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I love you guys. See you then.